Hello. Oh, hey, you caught me live. Hi, this is my first official Substack live on my own. Hello. Hello, folks. Hello, hello. I have no idea if anyone's here, so I'm just going to talk and hope for the best. It is wonderful to be here. I am here to help you widen your capacity for joy. Uh, which is a big claim on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I think I'm going to wait a minute, right? While we collect all of our people together. My mission, I suppose, to start 2026 is to say hello to you all. I've been on Substack a year and a half, and I haven't done this enough. I love this idea of saying hello to the people that are here on Substack, because what a wonderful place this is. So I'm going to say hey for a second, share what I do, and then we're going to dive into this practice to widen your capacity for joy. So, hey, folks, I'm Chloe. I'm a nervous system coach, well-being guide, yoga and mindfulness teacher, writer, and I believe life is too short for anything less than joy. And that's what my work is here to do. That's what I am here to do, right? To help make life feel more joyful. And I know what you're thinking, or I know a lot of people think. It's like joy at any cost, toxic positivity. We're just happy all the time. But it's not that. It's not the wedding kind, or the Alton Towers for the day kind, or the holiday to Barbados kind. Joyful things, sure. But what about the everyday kind? That is what I'm here for, right? About being softer and lighter and having more ease as we go through life. And as the Buddhists famously say, life is suffering, right? And yet joy can coexist within all of that. And I know, because I've practiced this stuff and I've come out of the darkness. I've come out of dark into the light. When you learn to regulate your system, this joy becomes easier. Life gets easier. So that darkness, I started teaching yoga a decade ago. You think yoga teachers, they got it. I was burning out, baby. I was depressed and heartbroken, grieving. I was low. And in fact, a few years ago, I was the lowest I've ever been. And I found the incredible nervous system coach, Johnny Miller, who taught me polyvagal theory, and I've never looked back. Everything sort of changed when I stopped thinking, I'm just going to throw yoga at the problem or meditation. I was trained in these things. Why weren't they fucking working? And now, being almost 36, I can happily say I'm the calmest, most resilient, most joyful I've ever been, because I understand my system and I work with my system. And that is my hope for you too. That is what I'm here for, right? To help you find your way through to this kind of resilience and calmness and ease, relief and joy through the mechanics of your incredible body. That's what Joyful on Substack is here for, and what Joy Unplugged is here for, and what I am here for right now for this practice. So we're going to practice. We're going to practice some of this. And it's not a big deal. You don't have to. I did joke. I just want to say I did joke in the description of this live that my signature program is about me wearing robes and buying 300 Bentleys, mainly because I've been watching a lot of those cult docs on Netflix, and they're so horrendous. I was joking, in case anyone needed that clarification. The practice isn't woo-woo. It's not crazy. It's really simple. Anyone can do it. So we're going to do it right now. Or you can just watch me do it. That's cool too. Because I don't know how this Substack Live thing works. I think people are here. It's wonderful to have you here. So I want you to get comfy. And that could look cross-legged. You could be sat in a squeaky chair like me. But can you, and I've been talking about this on notes recently, just feel your feet and your butt and your shoulders, and see if you can just sort of squish down a bit more. This force gravity pushing us down all the time. Just let it take over a little bit more for a minute. You can close your eyes and keep your mind open. But just feel that kind of heaviness. And maybe we can start here just by noticing your breathing. So, where is your natural breath? Is it in your belly? Is it in your chest? Somewhere else? Is it quick? How are you feeling? And this whole practice, by the way, is about shifting from your head. Don't think about any of this stuff. Just feel it. Trust the feelings. And we're going to start to just increase the length of your breath. So imagine you can breathe into your belly button, like down into your pelvis a bit. Breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your mouth, through the nose, whatever feels good today. And as you breathe out, feel that kind of heaviness, that melting, that kind of liquidity happening, gravity taking over. And as you breathe in, find a bit of buoyancy, as if we're in a sea of water and you're floating a little bit higher out of it. No tension, though, but you're feeling that inflation. And then you breathe out and it all comes back down again. Already, by the way, we're kind of walking that balance between effort and ease, between yin and yang. Don't worry, it's not going to get woo-woo, but isn't that interesting? Before we change our breathing pattern, because I want you to breathe in a way that feels calming. So that's not a particular length. It's not like calm breaths equals 8 seconds. Despite there being a lot of stuff around about that. This is about the feeling that you get as you breathe. What feels calming to you right now? All right. Here's the instruction. I want you to take a big breath in and then another one. And then sigh it out. You can sigh out through your mouth or your nose, by the way, whatever works. Just keep doing that. Breath in and another. So it's like we're just adding a little sip more inhale on top of the main inhale, right? Or if you like, it's a double breath in. Still feeling that as you inhale, this kind of upward lift, a little buoyancy. And then as you exhale, there's this sinking, right? Just kind of melting as you exhale. Especially because the exhale can be like a big old sigh. It can be like a proper release kind of exhale. So this is stage 1 of our magic tool this morning. Or this evening. I don't know where you're calling from, friend. Stage 2, if you want to find it, if you want to come with me to adding a little bit more to this. This is taken straight from Joy Unplugged, by the way. Got to plug that in there. Is as you exhale through your nose and hum at the same time. So it's like this. We inhale. Doesn't have to be in tune. We don't have to be monks in a cave. Just hum. And trust me, man, this is scientific stuff. I'm not making it up. This is how we tell our nervous system that we're safe. It's weird. I know it's weird, but it works. So we breathe in and hum. Change the pitch. It doesn't matter if you're musical or not. Just a few more breaths, and if your eyes aren't already closed, can you close them? Remember, this is a practice to get us out of our head and into our body. So I want you to focus on that as we keep going. What's happening in your body? And who cares about the technical side of that? Just feel. Just do 2 more. Maybe so that your teeth rattle a bit. So there's a full vibration happening in your skull. One more time. Even if there's dogs barking, even if there's sound, stay with me. And then find that breath we found a moment ago, this breath that feels calming. It doesn't have to be super deep. Let it be easy, but calming. Eyes are closed, right? Just sit for a second and let's ask our bodies. This ain't a thinking exercise. Ask your body, what's changed here? What's happening here? How do I feel? I feel like my center of gravity has shifted from right in between my collarbones down into my pelvis. What's your state right now? Just feel it. See what comes back. When you ask that question, give it space. It's a weird one, right? But it's almost like we're allowing our bodies to answer that question for us. And I wonder then if I could meet you human on human and ask right now, what is your capacity in this moment for patience and for tolerance and empathy, kindness, decision making, softness, slowness, ease, joy? Is it greater than it was 10 minutes ago or lesser? Your capacity for those things. And I hope that the answer to that question is greater. Hopefully, right? And that is my entire point. This has been such a simple practice, and I'm going to put this into joyful so you can practice it again and again. But it's not just a nice thing that calms us down before a big meeting, a Substack Live, or something that helps us sleep better. It does those things and they're wonderful. But I'm here to remind us all that this is way bigger than that. Practiced well, practiced often, and in this kind of right, for me, easygoing kind of way. This has the capacity to change everything in our lives, everything, because the lens through which we engage with reality in our lives is dictated to by our nervous system. So when we're feeling stress and overwhelm and anxiety, the world presents itself to us as stressful and overwhelming and anxious. And hopefully you're seeing a little bit of a different lens right now through which you're seeing the world. This isn't just calming down. This isn't just breath work, meditation, movement, whatever. This is a gentle and consistent tool to help us make life feel easier. When we regulate our systems, helps when your jumpers are fluffy, joy becomes easier to access. Stress stops running the show. Relief that life isn't just drudgery and ennui and heaviness and ugh, God, life isn't, as an adult, is hard, right? It doesn't have to be. And my entire mission is to help us realize that through simple everyday practices, through the theory of our systems, this nervous system that we get to live in, and to live more joyfully, because life is fucking short, man. And the people you love and the people you don't love, they're not going to be here forever, and you're not going to be here forever. Life is really short. And yet I think we live our lives stressed and overwhelmed and all of that. Like life isn't short, you know? We forget because bills need paying and the mortgages a lot and politics. And oh God, the news, right? But life is short. And once you start to regulate this, everything gets easier. And that is what Joy Unplugged is here for. And I'm also here to talk about it a tiny bit. We're going to get to questions and things in a second. Joy Unplugged is how I have distilled all of this into the way that we lay the foundations in our life for a life well lived. It's 8 weeks of me holding your hand through the theory and the practice and the experiment of widening your capacity for joy. And I made it because I knew there needed to be a better way to approach it, right? Like folks who are burnt out like I have been don't need more effort. They don't need, 3 hours of homework a week. That we don't need to be told, be calm, because when we're dysregulated, calm doesn't feel safe. This isn't more wellness. It's not more doing. It's not more fixing. I created this to be kind of like a way back without the willpower, without all of that drudgery. And I built it for people like me, right? Folks who are burnt out and overwhelmed, anxious. And is this it? Is this my life? And sensitive. I am super sensitive. I am learning more and more as I get older. I am a highly sensitive person. And I built it for people like me, right? People doing all these right things, meditation and ice baths and fuck, mate, who's jumping into a wheelie bin full of cold water? I don't know. Like, if that's you, please. But I'm going to talk actually to that in a second. But doing all the right things, but still feeling like, this kind of bone level exhaustion. It's for people who want relief, not optimization, right? This isn't quick fixes. This is not hustle, productivity, health hacks. It's me on your side every weekday, 1-to-1, every weekday for 8 weeks. Small, doable practices. It fits real life, even on bad days. No motivation required. It works for tired, busy humans who want to stop fighting themselves, right? It changes the way I built it. It changes how people relate to themselves, right? Not just how calm they feel. Less self-judgment, more permission, listening to the body instead of overriding it. It's about creating calm that lasts, rest that actually restores you, energy without relying on caffeine and willpower, movement that becomes enjoyable, creativity, ease, joy. It's about changing the foundations of the way that we engage with our lives, right? I am so excited about it. My third cohort starts in February. If you're interested, we start in February. I'm really excited to start this process with more wonderful folks. And I've changed it this round. Only those on the waitlist will be invited to apply for this full coached cohort. I'm going to put the link in. Is this a chat? I think it's a chat. There we go. I don't know how this works, but I've put the link in the chat. If you're interested, join the waitlist if this is speaking to you. There's no commitment. There's no pressure. The invite to the application will drop in about a week on Monday, I think. In the meantime, and if you're like, that's not for me, regardless. Otherwise, if you're feeling it, how are you doing after that practice? Anyone, how are you doing? Anyone got questions you want to ask me about this work, about nervous system stuff? And while you're collecting your questions, put them in the chat. I think that's how it works, right? I mentioned ice baths a second ago. Someone asked me this recently. Do I need to do an ice bath because, folks are telling me I need to do ice baths? And just to caveat this, crying is a good release, Lauren. Hell yeah, man. Huge. I mean, what did they say? Salt water is the cure for everything. Sweat, tears, and the ocean. Huge. It's a really good release. It's a way of processing stress, right? So we talk so much about metabolizing stress. Stress lives in our bodies unless we metabolize it. Crying is such a great way to do that. Screaming into a pillow also helps. Ice baths, right? You might think they also help, but to that question, if you are already dysregulated, right? So you're a little bit janky, running on empty, or if you're stressed more often than not, and you struggle to settle. My mum's a perfect example. Don't tell her I brought her up, but if I said to my mum, "Why don't you go for a bath?" she'd be like, "Well, I can't sit still for long enough." If you're in that kind of place, do you think putting on more effort and more fizziness on the top of that pile of effort and fizziness is gonna soften the system? Maybe not. I'm not saying ice baths are the demon. Try it, right? But from my perspective, they can so often put us back into fight or flight, unless you're using the tools correctly to kind of come back down afterwards. It can exacerbate an already dysregulated system, right? So that's my take on ice baths. Also, hot showers are wonderful. Can we just say hot showers are also regulating, baby? So I'm just saying, if anyone's got any other questions about regulation, about how you feel better in your day to day, I mean, do the practice with me. About Joy Unplugged, about anything, put them in the chat. I also want to just talk to the name. Someone asked me recently, the name, why is it called Joy Unplugged? Look, I'll probably end up changing it at some point, right? I don't know. But Joy Unplugged is named that way because I want it to feel like an acoustic set with joy, right? With the feeling of living joyfully. They've come to stage, unfiltered, untarnished, no voice correctors. The stage is right there. It's not miles away. There's only 30 people. I don't know. There's only going to be 6 people in the coach cohorts. There's going to be little, right? But it's intimate. It's brilliant. It's inspiring. It's raw talent. When you see someone in an acoustic gig like that, it's magical, right? I mean, music is the ultimate nervous system regulator as far as I'm concerned. And so that's why it's called Joy Unplugged, because it's like this magical, intimate, unfiltered container that helps us feel better, changes our relationship to the world and to ourselves and each other in a positive way. And what's more magical than that? So that is Joy Unplugged. So I think there's no more questions coming in. So I'm going to say, listen, what we practiced today. So I know there's some people who joined after the practice, but we did the physiological sigh, right? Do it again with me. Inhale, inhale. So it's a double inhale. It's called a physiological sigh. And watch out as you go through the rest of your day, the rest of your weekend. Yourself, the folks around you will automatically do physiological sighs. Once you've tuned into it, you'll notice it becomes annoying. It happens way more often than you think. It's your body's kind of natural way of down-regulating and finding calm and saying, oh, it's safe here, we're good. So that is me. Waffle over 25 minutes of waffle. Thank you for being here, folks. I so appreciate it. I hope you're feeling better for it. I appreciate you being here in my joyful universe on Substack. It is wonderful to be here with you. You can find out more about my work and Joy Unplugged on my website. The link is in the chat. I will just add it one more time. That is to the Joy Unplugged waitlist, but everything else lives on my website too. Thanks, folks. Have the best weekend, and I will see you another time. Big love. Thanks, guys. How do I end? I don't know how to end this. Oh, it's over there. Loads of love. I'll speak to you soon.